Today I'll be reviewing for you the paste from Jack Henry. This is my first time actually taking a look at this product from Jack Henry, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you right off the bat that I was kind of stumped by this one. It's the first product in a long time that made me go, how the hell is this one working right now? This is the paste from Jack Henry, which the brand says is a light-holding hair paste that they say doesn't just give you amazing hair texture and definition, it's also full of active plant and herb extracts created with potent phytonutrients that can help feed your scalp to keep your hair growing thick and healthy. They also say this provides a 24-hour light hold with reshaping ability and a soft, natural finish. Price-wise, we are looking at $28 for 1.69 ounces or $38 for 3.3 ounces. Looking inside the jar though, we have our first peculiarity of this paste. It's initially quite thick and requires a lot of pressure to get it out, but once it's in the hand, you can see it's got this oily, almost gritty texture. And having this in the hand, my mind just immediately goes to like a cookie dough type consistency. And you can see it's a little thicker like that, but when you start to break it down, you get a big helping of that shine. It goes down immediately in the hand and just has this almost greasy feeling. Moving over to the scent now, I believe it's the same as the clay. I think it's the same scent, and I'm not sure quite what it is. They don't say, but I do think it's a bit stronger, but it wasn't really super noticeable in the hair, just mainly in the jars where I think it's just turned up just a tiny bit. Moving over to the styling test now, I'm going to be using it on dry hair, freshly washed, no additional products added, and as I add in the first scoop, that greasiness that we saw in the scoop out just a second ago is obviously out in full force. You can see how obviously it's not behaving like what I have seen with pretty much any other paste ever. I mean, it's just really light as far as that hold goes, and it's really oily. And you can see that from the shine that it's putting into my hair, but something odd is also happening too. It's working. I mean, I really have no idea how it's working, but my hair is being controlled and it's actually forming a style here. And usually it's not quite this simple. Usually if something is oily and greasy like this, it weighs it down. It just kind of falls. It doesn't really come together like what I'm seeing here. So this one definitely kind of threw me a little with this final result. Now let's check on that final result 8 hours in. And again, I'm honestly surprised at what I'm seeing here. I was really expecting it to lift out, fall flat, and pretty much disappear based again on how light it actually feels and how natural my hair feels when I run my fingers through it. But we still seem to have some control here. I mean, honestly, I do think we've got some things going on there in the front that will contribute to my final thoughts that I'll share in a second as far as finish goes. But overall, I've got to be honest, this is still putting in some work. Shifting over to the washout now, this one for me was pretty easy to describe. It needed shampoo to come out. Just one shampoo was all that was needed to pull everything right out. Not too big a deal for me. In the end here now, bringing everything together, I've got mixed feelings about this one. On one hand, I'm incredibly impressed with how they were able to get what they got. And I don't mean just with the formulation. We've seen that Jack Henry can do a lot more with a lot less in regards to their ingredients. But here, in my opinion, we've got something that really shouldn't work as well as it did in my hair. I mean, usually if you presented me with the same scenario in another product, light hold, somewhat greasy appearance, it just wouldn't work. It's actually happened in the past a lot for me. But here, this just seemed to work a lot better. It seemed to actually control my hair. It seemed to have presentable hold, and it seemed to actually last, which is very surprising once again. Now that being said, yes, it works well for what it is, but obviously I need some more hold. Even just a little bit more hold is what I would need from a product like this. And also for me, the greasiness was a bit of a barrier. You can see during the endurance test, it made my hair a bit stringy there in the front, which does kind of make me concerned a bit about the fine-haired folks as well with that greasiness and the tendency to become a little stringy. I also didn't really see a whole lot of texture. I saw something that was very polished, very easily sculpted, and surprisingly something that held together quite well. That's kind of why I have mixed feelings about this one. I think that there's stuff that are barriers about it, for me anyway, and there's stuff that I think is really cool. And as I leave this review, the question that I would have if I was in your shoes, the viewer, the question that would be in my mind after watching this is not really, does this product work? We can see that it works. I mean, honestly, it does what it set out to do. It does what it says it does. The question in my mind, though, if I was a viewer, is does what this paste does line up with my styling styling goals? In other words, does this bring something to the table that aligns with my styling goals? And as always, the final verdict on that is up to you. And if you'd like to check this out for yourself, a link will be in the description down below. That though is it for today. Thanks so much for checking this out with me. Make sure you do the big 3 for me: like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, take it easy. I'll see you next time.